What does a pharmacist do? Well, most people might answer that a pharmacist dispenses the medications that my doctor prescribes. Now, I work with a ton of great pharmacists, and one thing that I don't generally see is excitement about pills in a vial. And this is probably because pharmacists have been trained to do so much more. So what can you get excited about in your community? To find out, let's go beyond the scripts. Hey everyone, welcome back to Beyond the Scripts. I'm your host, Will Tuft with PioneerRx, and today we have Shahida Choudhry joining us from Tampa down at the Palm Pharmacy. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Will.
So you are a familiar face. I'm sure a lot of our listeners or anybody watching this on their computer may recognize your face from various trade shows. You've been on a couple podcasts lately. Also play a big role in IPC. So definitely somebody that a lot of people may recognize but haven't had a chance to talk to in person. So looking forward to sharing your story.
I'm excited.
So tell me a little bit about Palm's Pharmacy. I've heard you describe this as a concierge pharmacy. So what does that mean?
It means that we're fancy.
Okay.
Fancy name of saying independent pharmacy. You know, we go above and beyond. Our customer service is top of the line, and we just go above and beyond for our patients. So that's what I consider concierge. After hours, weekends, that sort of stuff. Even though when we're closed, we still are taking care of our patients.
Awesome. So does that mean that you have like a concierge membership for your patients, or is it more of a mindset for your pharmacy?
Oh, it's definitely a mindset. If I charge for this, I mean, come on. Okay. I mean, I don't think anybody can afford this, but no, it's free. It's free. Everybody is treated like royalty when they come in.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's definitely something that we've seen with some other pharmacies kind of that offer, different membership levels to kind of bundle some of their services. So
no, sorry, we don't do
No.
that. We should be charging everybody, but we don't.
Yeah. And that's definitely one of the things that, a lot of pharmacies fall into for sure is not being not being willing to charge for the amazing value that they provide every day.
I know.
So.
I know. I should. I mean, so I have started to charge for my services now. Finally, after how many years I've been yelled at by many pharmacy owners saying, "Hey, for your consults, you need to charge." So I finally started charging for them, and it's very scary. It's that leap, because I have a lot of providers that send me patients to review their labs. And, the hormone consults and stuff. So I finally started charging. So that's a big step for me.
Yeah, no, that's great. But it's also that kind of builds so much experience and hopefully gives you the confidence to, be able to see the value and quantify the value and be able to, quantify that not only to somebody who you're asking to pay for it, but also to the provider. So, yeah, that's important.
Yeah, and definitely the staff takes care of all that. I don't ask for any of that. So they do all that. They do. So they set up the appointments. They collect all that. So yeah, it's very uncomfortable for me to do that.
Yeah, and again, that's a kind of a reoccurring kind of mental hurdle that a lot of entrepreneurs and healthcare providers and passionate business owners sometimes struggle with. As being able to put a price tag on it.
Yes, I was scolded by Dr. Kathy, Jen, as well as Jen. She's like, what are you doing? Just giving your information out for free. I'm like, okay, fine. So finally, bit the bullet. And so my staff were like, it's about time. You're never here. At least this will, with the appointment-based model, that has helped keep me in line as well. So they also keep me in line, so.
Yeah. So have you found that being able to, kind of organize that and have it as more of a formal paid for product, do you find that the patients see more value in it? If it was a conversation that they had for free, are they putting the same weight on the advice on the overall encounter?
I definitely think so.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think so. And the follow-up, there's more follow-up because, now they've invested money in this. So they want to make
Yeah.
sure that, the recommendations are actually taking whatever I recommended, and then they come back for a follow-up. So I see that there's more consistency with that.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have to pay for something,
Yeah. There's, literal buy-in. So,
Yeah.
okay. So you weren't doing that from day one. So let's back up real quick to actually before April 15th, 2016. There are some steps along the way because you've kind of been East Coast, West Coast, Third Coast now.
Oh, yes. God bless. I know. I have no idea. But yes, I started out born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, right? Brooklyn, New York. That's home.
All right.
And don't tell my husband that, okay? But yeah, Brooklyn, New York, that's home. Went to school, pharmacy school, got my bachelor's in pharmacy, then got my PharmD. And then we went out to California, worked out there, Walgreens and all the other stuff, and Safeway grocery store chain. Worked there, and then, no one would come visit us. And nobody.
That's a long way.
Yeah, my parents. Where's California? I'm like, great. So we finally decided we just went like this, and we decided on Florida, just like that, because he didn't want to move to New York. So we decided on Florida, and then we decided on Tampa, just like that. Seriously, that's how we did it.
Nice.
Not knowing a soul, and here we are. When we moved to Tampa, I said I didn't want to work retail at all. So I worked for Medco, the mail order company. The most horrible job on earth, working mail order and managing 250 pharmacists. Can you imagine doing that?
No.
It is horrible. They're whining. The whining that comes from these pharmacists, fighting for their days off, seniority, it was just too much for me. And the corporate side, not being, they have that interaction with patients because they're just names. So, but I dealt with the pharmacist side. I didn't deal with patients, so I didn't like that at all. So that didn't last very long. And then I ended up working for another grocery store chain for a very long time.
Okay.
I won't say how long, but apparently, if I tell you how many years, people kind of figure out how old I am. So I don't say that anymore. So I stayed with them for a while. Between all that time, I had my 2 kids, and then an opportunity came to me. I'm sure you've heard the story that both kids were under 5 years old, and this gentleman says to me, "Hey, what did he say?" He said he drops his business card on the counter and says, "Hey, let me know when you're ready to open up your own pharmacy."
Oh, really?
I was like, "Who are you?" I was like, "What are you, crazy? I have 2 little kids at home. They're always sick." No. And he was the vice president of McKesson South.
Okay.
And I'm like, "Okay, that's great for you. Doesn't really mean anything to me." So 2 years passed, and he still is on me. "Hey, you should open up your own pharmacy. You have it in you." And I'm like, "Okay, apparently you see something because I don't." So 2 years, I leave that grocery store chain to be a stay-at-home mom. Yeah, that worked out really well. Not really. There's some people that are made to be, stay-at-home moms. I'm not one of them.
Yeah, no, it's a struggle if you're, especially a really outgoing social person who kind of feeds on those patient interactions. And yeah, I can see where you'd struggle with, stay-at-home mom life.
Yeah, it's the most difficult job, and it's just not for me. Yeah, how much cleaning can you do? I just, I was dusting, I was doing all that. It was too much for me. So, so then I went back to that business card, and I reached out to him. I said, "What does this entail?" So I went out and did the ownership workshop a bunch of times, 5 in total. But, I didn't get it the first time, second, third, or fourth. Why not do it 5 times? So I did it a bunch of times, and then fine. I liquidated my 401k because, apparently everybody does that to open up a pharmacy. And so that's what I did. And
Wow.
why not?
So the fact that I've been given a lot of business cards in my life, and I don't have all of them. The fact that you held on to that card kind of is like a bit of movie foreshadowing. It's very kind of, Spielberg shot where, you put it in a drawer and kind of open the drawer and the light hits it just right.
Yeah, fine. I'll keep this one. And I still have that original card. I still have it.
Wow.
I
Interesting. So somewhere subconsciously you knew he was right.
He thought so. I mean, I don't know what I was doing because, pharmacists are not business folks. We are pharmacists. We deal with patients. We don't know the back end of anything. What? I didn't know
Yeah.
P&Ls and all that. I had no idea. So I had to learn, marketing, all that stuff. When we opened, I opened the door and hopefully everybody will walk in. Nobody did.
Yeah. So did you decide to open a brand new pharmacy, or did you step into an existing opportunity? How did that work?
No. We got to start from the ground up. It's called. So the location, one of my patients owns this plaza. So he was like, please open it so you can take care of my daughter. So I'm like, oh, okay. Times are rough. So he made space for us. So he carved out about, at that time, 1,800 square feet for us. Like there was a big Remax that was 3,000. And he told them, hey, we need to make room for her. So they downsized and they carved us out 1,800 square feet. And we opened April 15th. Yay.
All right. So you open up a retail pharmacy serving the community, just general kind of retail pharmacy, no specific niche, or how did that work?
I wanted to open and focus on new moms and kids and all that great stuff. Yeah, that didn't work. I tried. It didn't work. Marketing. Who knew we had to market? Who knew we'd
Yeah.
have to go to doctor's offices? Who knew? We just sat here and played Uno for months. My tech and I, we at 1:00, we would just have lunch and play Uno for months. And then like, this is not good. We need to do something. So that's when we pivoted. That's my big word. And then marketing started and me going to doctor's offices and doctor detailing. And yeah, that was a good time. And then prescriptions started rolling in. But one big office that we really take care of, the provider in that office gave me a bit of advice. He said, listen, I will help you, but I will only send you one prescription. And it's up to you to retain that patient and get the rest of them. He goes, I will send you one. Like the patients want to go to Walgreens or whatever. I will send you one of their prescriptions. It's up to you to take care of them and see if they transfer. And that bit of advice, almost 8 years later, even now, I mean, he is just like, listen, you did it. I would say about 75% of his practice, they all come to us now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we had to kill him with kindness and just be us. And so now we have most of that practice, and the providers, they send us most of their prescriptions, most of the patients to us. Yeah,
Nice.
that was fun.
So when he started building those relationships, was that just a general practitioner, or did you kind of seek out a specific kind of niche, or, how did that initial patient base start to grow?
So there was one provider's office that, it's not a funny story, but it is a funny story. When I worked at that supermarket pharmacy, it's only 2 miles from here. So I opened 2 miles from there. So that big provider's office was one of my patients. He passed away a month before we opened. And he said, I'm going to send you everybody open. Yay. And then he passed away in March. I'm like, oh.
Oh, okay.
I say it's funny, but not so funny. So I had to go to his partner and just say, hey, these are our services that we can offer, patient care and MTMs and all that good stuff. And yeah, it was just, I would say internal med in our area. Any office in our area, I would say internal med, because that's where I really wanted to take care of primary care providers and their patients. So from there, I can, gosh, this is horrible, take care of their whole family instead of just one disease state. I want to take care of everything. So that has worked well for us. So far has worked well.
Yeah. So in 2016, I guess you were You put the open sign on the door, and I guess doctor detailing is something that is kind of a, I don't know, a bit more of a common phrase today than it was then.
Who knew? I mean, I didn't know. No one knew. No, like, what pharmacist goes into a doctor's office? Nobody, right? No one knew that back then. So, and I just brought myself. I didn't bring pens and all this stuff. No one knew. I mean, I didn't know. And then I started reading up on this and what to bring and not to bring and stuff, So now I'm very specific. And when I go to a doctor's office, what do I bring?
Yeah.
I just had one yesterday, actually. I went to visit a pain big clinic. It was, I brought pens and I brought tchotchkes, I brought sanitizers and stuff. So this time I'm more prepared now than I was back then. And I bring
Yeah.
food now.
Yeah, just a little bit of brand recognition. But I think mainly, like most providers, if you can just communicate how you can help them reach their goals and let them know you're going to take great care of their patients and asking them to send you patients is a lot harder than telling them how you're going to help them meet their metrics.
Yes, definitely. And also, it's not only the providers, you have to work on the MAs, the front end folks. So there's a lot of finagling and schmoozing that you have to do. So luckily in 2016, 2017, I laid the groundwork. That was a good time. And now I just go in maybe once a year, twice a year to those folks. But luckily, all those folks that I detailed back then are now patients of ours. So
Yeah.
we take care of them now. So, so they know how we take care of them. So now they can tell their patients, hey, we actually fill our prescriptions and she's our pharmacist. So,
Which is pretty much like best case scenario. You go from, that initial, starting the conversation is the hard part. But if you can grow that organic relationship, that's awesome.
oh yeah. Now it's like I get random emails from doctors now. Hey, can you fill my prescriptions? I'm like, who are you? So I mean, now, I mean, it's a blessing. Don't get me wrong. I'm very grateful. But now I get emails and phone calls and texts from physicians from all over Florida now. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. And also I think they see our social media. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the evolution in the first couple of years. What did you first kind of start to branch out into? What opportunities did you see where you could grow and maybe meet some of the other needs of those physicians?
So our business model in the beginning, we're focused on kids and moms and breast pumps and all that great stuff that didn't work for us. So all of a sudden, one day we get a prescription for a really, really expensive medication that shows up in the pharmacy. It came, the doctor prescribed it, sent it to us by mistake. I'm like, oh my God, what is this? So I filled it and it was covered. But apparently it took up all my cash flow, all my cash in my bank. I'm like, what is this? But I mean, the margins were nice. I'm like, oh, maybe we should get into this. So, right? I mean, that's what back then you can do that, right? So I reach out to the manufacturer. Who does that? I did back then. And the manufacturer shows up to the pharmacy and said, who are you? And how did you get our product? And it came to us by mistake. Yeah, it came to us by mistake. I mean, it's fate, it's Kismet, right? So they signed us on to be one of their preferred pharmacies. We couldn't afford it. We had nothing in the bank. So we had to make it work. And we did. We didn't tell anybody. I'm telling you now. We made it work. We lines of credits, we credit cards, all that stuff. But we made it work. And we would get prescriptions from the area. We couldn't afford it, but we couldn't tell anybody. Also, our first year, since we are in a heat zone, which I'm sure you know what a heat zone is, everybody, right? You know. So we couldn't open without a bunch of PBMs. So we opened with maybe like 50%, and then a year after is when we can apply for the other ones. It's like Blue Cross, Humana, and another one I think we apply a year after when we open. So can you imagine? I'm filling these prescriptions and not having that insurance, but I'm telling patients that I have it. So I'm telling you, like, no one knew what we were dealing with, and we were just so not making anything. I didn't get a salary for years. whatever. You just make it work. So,
Yeah.
so that's how I was introduced to manufacturers from there. And then I couldn't afford it anymore. It was getting a little too much. So it was too much. I'm sure everybody knew what that. It was these tablets that were anti-inflammatories. They were $2,000-$3,000 a bottle. You can just buy it for $5 kind of thing. But the
Oh, wow.
margins,
Interesting.
the margins were here at that time, and then a year later, it wasn't worth it, and so then we stopped doing that. But then another manufacturer reached out to us and said, "Hey, we see that you're doing this with this one. Can you do it with us?" And that one has been with us for 6 years now, and that one has we service all 8 of their reps in Florida. So we
wow.
from all over. So our business pivoted over the years. So we're very manufacturer focused pharmacy. So manufacturers reach out to us and we take care of them. Small pharma companies, small pharma.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. That's not an angle that I've heard discussed very often, kind of going the manufacturer route.
Yes. And everybody hates it. Trust me, I hear about it all the time. Everybody's like, "Are you crazy? Are you crazy?" I'm like, yeah,
A little.
I think we are. But I mean, that's us. I mean, we're a little off-centered is what we are. Because hydrochlorothiazide does not pay the bills. They do not. And with these manufacturers, the ones that I have, the only ones I will work with are the ones I can buy direct from.
Okay.
So there are margins there, and I negotiate really well with them to make sure that there are margins. So that's where we are. I mean, we are we are very different. We're not your typical pharmacy.
Yeah. So, how else have you atypically grown your business over the past few years? I mean, because back then, I guess even the margins were in your favor a lot more than they are today.
I mean, for us, like I said, the way we purchase our manufacturer stuff, we do have some cushion there. But we do have a compound. We compound as well. We have a compounding pharmacist. We have a compounding lab. We do all that. We do service, I can say this, 12 ENT locations. So we do have all 12 locations. They send us all their patients and all their patients' compounds and their prescriptions as well. So we have grown that business as well, the compound side, and that's still growing, especially with the weight loss side of this. It's been a little cuckoo out there. I'm sure you know that already. Yeah. So we that's been growing, and my compounding pharmacist is like, "Can you stop? Just stop." I'm like, "No, no, we can't." Okay. But we've hired a compounding technician as well for him, so Jake could leave me alone now. But he won't. He'll ask for more. He wants more equipment.
So what was the initial push into the compounding realm?
This is again funny story, but not really. That physician that passed away, he has one compound that he created himself. It was a steroid cream that he put all this stuff in. So that we were the only ones in the area, and a lot of providers in the area knew about it. And at that time, he told them, "Oh, I would take care of it." Well, sorry, he passed. But anyway, his partners all use it. So that's how we started. I would compound it myself. Jake was not with us at that time. So we started with that, and then we started adding from there.
Interesting.
We call it the F lotion is what we call it, because his name was Frazier. So we call it F lotion is what we call it. And it's we dispense that at least 3-4 times a week. So that's how we got started compounding, with that one F lotion. I think it's
interesting. But again, just kind of an organic evolution of that relationship.
Yeah. And then, I'm sorry. There was a pharmacy, in Tampa, there was like 3 big pharmacies that have been here forever. And that one pharmacy in the area that's been here forever was closing. They had reached out to me to see if I would purchase it. I'm like, "Oh, I can't afford my drugs. I'm going to buy you." No, I made it seem like that. I was like, "Yeah, I can," but no, I couldn't. So what I did was I just hired the staff. So that's what I did. I hired the pharmacist. I hired the compounding pharmacist. I hired the intern and the owner. sold to Walgreens, but then the owner also filled all his prescriptions with us. So a lot of their business came to us, and a lot of their compounding
Nice.
also came to us. Then we've grown that business also off of their heels, really, because they supported us, because they were like, there wasn't any independents out there that are actually want to compound. So, and that's how we also grew from there.
Nice. That's a smart way to kind of leverage the goodwill of that, existing entity without,
Investment.
taking in all the expense. Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't afford that. What are you, crazy? No.
So, what are you compounding these days? Are you, getting into anything that's mail order? Are you, doing anything nationwide, or any just local? Any specific niches?
We have licenses in 13 states now, and we're working on more, but no, we're not. That's next year. That's 2024's plan, is to promote outside of the state. But right now Jake wants to kill me, like I told you, because our volume has gone up so much with our ENT compounds. We picked up a bunch of new offices, and so they sent us a whole lot, and our queues just look a little crazy. So we're just going to wait a little.
Sure.
But we do compound the weight loss medication. It's there. It's not something we promote. Like, we don't promote any of our compounding. We just promote them to providers, but that's about it. We don't do any ads, anything on social media, which we should, but no, that'll get us in trouble. Yeah, no, we will.
Yeah. So has the GLP-1 craze kind of kept you busy there in the compounding lab?
Oh yes. Because we compound the semaglutide. I'm sorry, I'm not even allowed to say it. The
Yeah, I think so.
We make a suspension. So we make us, because we had started with tablets, troches, that didn't taste good. So now we're up to the suspension, and then we central fill injectables. We're very, very selective on what are the injectables that we bring in, but the suspension is where we're doing well with. Everybody wants it. You want it? I mean, not that you need it. You don't need it.
I'm just trying to keep it all intact here.
Got married too, so I don't know. Okay, congratulations.
Thank you much. But yeah, gotta fight that complacency when you get a little bit older. You gotta stay active, gotta stay on it. So
yeah, and you're always hiking or doing something crazy.
I try to, try to stay on top of this, man. It's
you
hard
don't
work.
Please preach it to the choir. You don't have to tell me, okay?
So you've made some pivots in the weight loss stuff. I think another thing that's kind of interesting is we talk about business owners, pharmacies who have to wear so many hats and do so many different things. So why not go ahead and take on another role with IPC? But it sounds like you have a very unique kind of outlook on purchasing that really makes that a great fit.
Yes, I think purchasing is what I've kept in my back pocket. That's not something I sit there and talk about. So now apparently everybody knows now. But which I am very selective on who I add on to my network of pharmacies. I'm very selective because the manufacturers also want to know, hey, what pharmacy in this state? We need a pharmacy in this state. Can you help us out? And then from there, I'll add on pharmacies from there, and they also get the benefit of buying direct. So yes, there's many hats that go along with this. I mean, who knew? I have one story about a manufacturer. They came to me, which I was like, oh, I'm honored. So they came to me. They wanted an official meeting, and they said, hey, we've seen your name all over the place at these providers' offices. Can you also add us to your roster? And I'm like, okay, that's great product, but what are you selling it for? Whatever. So they told me whatever number that they threw at me, and I'm like, oh no, I can't do that. I only do things in double digits, not in single digits. And they looked at me like, who are you? I'm like, yeah, exactly. So I said, okay, thank you. I mean, and then they left. I didn't take the deal. I was like, no, you need me. I don't need you. So they went away, and 3 weeks later, they came back with an even better offer. And I'm like, okay, fine. I will. And they paid for a whole lot of things, which was nice. So and then from now we're best friends now.
Nice.
And these small pharma companies, you'd be surprised how well they support independent pharmacies. They will renegotiate and give you better terms and better whack numbers. You would be very surprised, pharmacy owners. Like,
Yeah.
they're really, I mean, I understand they're brand new products, all that great stuff, but they're really looking at independent pharmacy owners as people, and they really want to take care of us. So that's why with one pharma company, I've been with them for 6 years now, and they came by yesterday, and we're expanding to Georgia now. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think time and time again, when given the opportunity, independent pharmacy is going to prove that they can outperform any other solution, when it comes to patient interactions and adherence and counseling and patient education, all those things. And, I feel like that's really going to help pretty much any other part of, the healthcare landscape meet the goals that they're trying to meet. So when you can add that value of, your pharmacy can help a manufacturer or, a physician's office or whoever kind of meet those metrics that they're striving for, it's a win-win.
Oh yes, and they realize it. They'll go to another big mail order company. They left us. They went to a mail order company, and then they came back. So that was like, oh, okay, fine. We need better terms. So it worked out. It worked out in both of our favors. So, yeah, I mean, the thing is, a lot of pharmacy owners don't know this, and they are scared. They're like, oh my God, it's brand. I'm like, but this is the way out of the future.
Yeah.
All new. I mean, look, the new weight loss medication just got approved yesterday, and I'm already getting calls about it. I'm like, calm down. It's not even in production, people.
Yeah, well, I saw it on MSN, or I saw it on Yahoo when I was checking my email. So maybe Palms has it.
No, it's already on back order. Okay, it's on back order. That's my answer. It's on back order. Okay.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about your kind of traditional purchasing, because one thing that makes a whole lot of sense as an independent is working with other independents to leverage buying power. And so, working with a good buying group only seems natural. Like it just seems like a great opportunity. So tell me a little bit about what you've done in that realm.
So I have a primary wholesaler, of course. I don't know if I can say them. McKesson.
Yeah, I don't see any reason you can't.
Yeah, McKesson, and they've been great. Listen, they've been so fantastic to me. I've spoken at their idea share, and they've been great supporters of mine. I can't say anything bad about them because they're great. And the buying group that I'm a part of is IPC. I really like IPC, and also they've been a supporter of mine since day one. Like day one when we opened, they were here at grand opening. Fantastic. And they're very innovative, which I appreciate. With the services and everything that they offer, pharmacies, a lot of buying groups do not, that I'm aware of. How's that? So I was nominated to run for the board, and I didn't know. I mean, the board knows. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I didn't know what it entailed at all. So when I was elected, I mean, during the process, clearly I figured it out. And when I was elected the position, which I'm amazed that I won, and we had our first meeting last month, it was 2 months ago. It's pretty amazing to see what goes behind the curtains. It's really amazing. Amazing. So we had another meeting last night with the board, and I wish I can tell you everything, but I can't. But
oh, sure, you can.
but it's really amazing to see that side of the business. Because we're just pharmacy owners and stuff, but just to see on the buying group side, the wholesaler side, it's very interesting. I think everybody should look into that.
Awesome. So, I know right now in pharmacy, there are, some complaints that every pharmacy is facing with DIR fees and low reimbursements and all that. One of the things that you've kind of talked about on a couple different platforms is kind of moving part of your business focus to the front end area. And I've seen that done a lot of different ways over the years. I was part of the installation team for years here at PioneerRx. And I always thought it was kind of interesting to see the different approaches that people took with their pharmacy. So tell me a little bit about the front end at Palm Pharmacy.
First, I don't know. I don't think you were our installation guy. I don't think so. No. Because apparently we had a guy, but I kept calling him Will. I kept calling him Will, but his name was Dave. So, and I was wondering why he never responded to me.
Well, that could be.
Call him Will. Sorry, sidetracked. So how the front end? I mean, we've had a front end, basic, all that stuff. It was basic health mart stuff.
Sure.
But COVID hit. And prescriptions, everything like that just came to a halt, right? All we ran were refills. So we didn't have any new business coming in. So I started reading business books and stuff, how to really control. Clearly you can't control anything with prescriptions. I didn't know that. I was like, okay, I had margins. Margins were really dwindling during COVID. Oh my God. It was March, April. We had to pivot. So, first, we started compounding our sanitizer, which it's around here somewhere. My first bottle of sanitizer during COVID, we kept it. And we had trucks and stuff of alcohol, and big rigs come in with alcohol from Texas. So we were the only ones making sanitizer. So our compounding pharmacist was busy. So like, okay, that's the front end. We can actually make money.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you heard the story. I feel like I've repeated the story a million times that I was sick during that time, and then I was at home and I started watching the show The Prophet. Did you?
Yes. So I have heard this story, but it's a great story, so we can revisit a little.
It's a horrible story. So I loved Marcus Lemonis, just love him, how he invests in small businesses, and he was on Instagram Live. And he was talking and stuff, and I was in the audience, and I was ready for bed, and I was looking like a hot mess, my glasses and bun. And all of a sudden, he goes, "Who's Palm's Pharmacy?" And all of a sudden, the screen lights up, and I'm on screen.
Oh, no.
I'm like, what?
I'm just picturing you with like curlers and like a green like facial mask on. And
It was a mess. And all of a sudden, my phone lit up, and he's like, "Palm's Pharmacy." And I'm like, oh my God, that's Marcus Lemonis. And then he's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, and then you see my face, like in the camera, it's like all you see is my eyes, because I didn't want anybody to see this. So yeah, he interviewed me for like 30 minutes. And my question to him was, how do I control the margins? And he was like, you can't with pharmacy, but the front end. So that's where the front end story started. He gave me a project to revamp the front end, change the whole design of it, and how patients walk in, and just products. So that's how we really revamped the front end. We brought in new products, and social media and marketing was huge for us. And we brought in different products, not your basic Tylenol products. Tylenol, but everything else that CVS and Walgreens, they don't carry. Like Target, everyone buys that card. So we carry stuff that nobody else carries. So our front end is pretty unique, very unique. We kind of bring in new products almost every week, and we really turn our products. So when patients come to the counter, there's always something new. So every month when they come in, it's not the same thing that they're looking at. And we change up displays and everything. And our front end's pretty small, but we really turn it. And
I think that's such an important aspect that I think a lot of pharmacies can definitely say, okay, the front end looks good, and then move on to the next thing, and not keep that fresh rotation. And that's something we can definitely kind of look at the big guys, because the big guys spend a lot of money on research and the psychology of shopping and product placement and price points and like there's a whole science that we can leverage somebody else's work if we're just observant.
Yeah, that's what I did. So I worked on all the senses. When you come into the pharmacy, I worked on sight, smell. So when you come in, it smells like a spa. And the music is very upbeat. I have 2 staff members that are not into it, but I say, suck it up, people. It's very, very, it's EDM-ish music, but it's very upbeat. It's not that music, okay? And visually, it's what we keep it very up to date, and we change it a lot. So it's not very stagnant when you come in. And we change a traffic pattern in the pharmacy as well. So we try to keep it, the margins are there in the front end. That's the thing, hydrochlorothiazide, you make 5 cents. Here, we're actually making money in the front end. So, I enjoy it. I have 2 staff members that they love it. They'll go out and find, oh, look, I found a tree that we can use during Christmas or, Thanksgiving. Oh, I found this, but they wanted to skip Thanksgiving this year and just go straight to Christmas. But I said,
I'll
no.
not have it.
No, we need to be thankful. So we have thankful stuff all over the pharmacy.
Yeah, no. Thanksgiving deserves its spot. Let's not jump right into Christmas.
No.
As soon as the turkey's away, you can put up the Christmas tree, but wait, give the turkey his day.
Yeah, I said no. I said Black Friday, by all means, you can just switch up the pharmacy, but no, we're going to have thankful month is what we're going to do this month. So.
Yeah. So when you're changing up the traffic pattern, like what specifically are you kind of looking at? Are you doing, like a focus on seasonal end caps, is it gift and kind of home products, or are you focusing on like natural products? I really like to see when pharmacies are able to kind of leverage their profession in the OTC offerings,
We carry a lot of natural products. One thing Marcus Lemonis was his big thing with me was to make sure I had candy in the pharmacy. And I was dead against it. Because I said, I'm going to eat it. Who's going to eat it? Me. And so he was like, then don't eat it. And I'm like, no, I will eat it. And that's what happens. When I pass by, I will grab something. What happens? You see? This is what's on my desk. You see?
You said, oh no, high margin, easy to source, impulse purchases. No, thanks.
No, I told them that's not for me. So, so now we carry high-end candy, but they're high-end, but we make sure our price points are not crazy because we want to make sure that a parent or 75 or plus year old comes in, if they want something, it's affordable. Like we don't carry anything. I would say we don't carry any product that's not a supplement that's over $20. We really try to source products that are affordable. And plus we want to turn it as well. Because, if there's something for $20, $30, it's going to sit there. So we kind of make sure if we're going to bring in mints, apparently we have popcorn flavored mints. We make sure that it's priced $2 because, someone will like, oh, what is this? And they'll buy it. And then, for us, it's all about turning products. So that's important to us. Did you want some candy?
No, I'm good. I've got so much Halloween candy still. No, but that is interesting. If you're going to offer impulse purchases like candy and stuff, I'm going to pass right over, your standard candy bars and things because it's not interesting. But if you can find that thing that kind of piques interest and that kind of, that dopamine search where you're like, oh, I'm intrigued. This is a sweet treat that I haven't seen, or, but it also kind of stays within that, that budgetary threshold. It's kind of a sweet spot where I feel like there's a lot of opportunity.
Oh yeah. We're big in gourmet popcorn, excuse me. And our cost is 85 cents and we charge $2 and that just moves and it's gourmet popcorn and you can't, it's this couple in Michigan that makes it. So we kind of, like I said, we bring in stuff that we don't carry your Snickers and all that stuff. We don't carry soda, which now we do carry ginger ale because apparently with weight loss medicine, people need ginger ale. So we carry ginger ale now. And we carry ginger gummies. So we carry not your ginger candies, so we ginger gummies. So we carry things that, can't find really anywhere. So everybody's so far so good. Knock on wood.
Nice. So what other products have you found? Like, I'm always interested if I have the opportunity to watch, a chef cook, for example, or if I'm at a chef's house, I want to see what tomato sauce they buy, right? Like I want to see what the professional leverages for, their personal preference. So have you found that you're able to, kind of extend that to, you know, personal care products or, cleaning products, anything like that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We yes. I buy things that I want to buy. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, patients might not like this, but I'll buy it anyway. So this is my second year. I attended the Natural Product Expo, and I think every pharmacy owner should go. I'm gonna start a little revolution this year. I'm gonna have pharmacy owners go because it is amazing, amazing. I brought in so many products from that show last year and this year. I was invited last year by Gabe at NCPA, and this year I wasn't invited. That's okay, but I went myself, and I met other owners. I invited other owners to join me, and so this year I wanted to invite others for us to go. They carry supplements, just new products on the market, and so this year, are you okay if I show you a product that I brought in this year?
Sure. Let me see.
Okay, this is one of my favorite ones this year, and it's been doing really well. Is one of these. It's called True Heights. I'm sure you guys have seen this on social media, right? You've seen this. These are for kids that need protein. Your not little, your ADHD kids, and the parents, they love this, and also they have gummies, and this has been flying off our shelves. And now we have an online store. We just launched the online store like 2 days ago, but has done really well. We send a text message when a patient's prescription's ready, and we add this on. We have a snippet or whatever you call it, Will, that little
Okay.
text, and
Sure.
and whatever, edit, whatever. So they get
Yep.
this text, and then we add this onto their order. So this is a great add-on. Parents have
So,
been loving this.
so you're leveraging software to automate that message,
Yes.
or are you getting the flag and then manually sending?
And listen, we'll work on
Those
on
are,
a-
we need to get you automated. Yeah. Yeah. You can save a little bit of time. Um,
that would be
but
nice. Thank you.
so seeing those alerts, you're doing that in workflow, and that product specifically, what is the benefit for the patient?
For my ADHD patients, their issue is that they're not eating. So parents are worried that they're not growing and stuff. So with this is supposed to help with protein, getting patients protein and helping them grow, as they say. So it has all great stuff in there. I can read it to you, but I don't feel like it. But but the protein powder has done well. Protein powder and the gummies. And then there's a sleep one, which I didn't bring in because sleep is patient specific. But this product has done well, and it's great margins. So, and we all pharmacy owners deal with this with all of our patients and ADHD patients. So now we have something to offer them.
Yeah, what a great win-win. And that's, again, something that really kind of like adds that extra value. Like that's the professional advice you hope that you're going to get from, your independent pharmacist. So what a great win-win opportunity.
I try sometimes.
So, so what else are you finding success with on the front end?
Right now, our supplements, of course, we've done really well with our supplements, and we finally private labeled our own supplements. So we're launching that in the next 2 weeks. So I apologize if you see a lot of us online promoting our products. So we're bringing that to market. And right now it's just holiday stuff. Sorry, holiday-ish stuff. But definitely supplements have, because I do a lot of consults, like I said before, and we brought in a new line. I don't know if I can say it.
Sure.
Thorn is one of the newer ones. But our weight loss, we have a weight loss section and we have an ADHD section, and we're just adding to those. And patients on the semaglutides and Manjaros and that sort of stuff, they go to our weight loss section. And if like, food isn't digesting, I'll give them a digestive enzyme. This is an issue, and I'll give them this. So, I'm not losing weight as much. Maybe you should add this. So that has done well so far.
Interesting. That's such a great way to look at that, especially the weight loss segment where, they're kind of expensive drugs. Maybe you're not making a ton on the prescription itself, but there's so many opportunities to serve that patient and grow those OTC sales that you're not relying on a third party for.
Yes, and I need to add in those edits or the stuff so it alerts at the register.
Yeah, you need to be automating those opportunities.
Yeah, well, it looks like I know who to call.
We can definitely get some set up.
Thank you.
So, I was at a pharmacy once, and I can't remember where this pharmacy was, but it struck me their front end was very much an opening order supplier front end, just kind of standard issue, but they had taken the time to identify the pharmacist recommendation in each category. And so all of a sudden, this entire front end had a little bit of a pharmacist personal touch to it. And I bet just by adding that, they could have cut half of their SKUs out of their inventory and offered, that same personal touch to so many other categories.
And I mean, when you open a pharmacy, there isn't a course or anything about front end. You kind of just hit and miss, really. You're just like, okay, maybe this will work, and it doesn't, and then it expires, and then you're like, hey, staff, here you go. Here's some candy that has expired. See, this is why I don't carry it. No, anyway. Only one thing expired, one thing. And we carry also gourmet cotton candy. So that's been flying off of our shelves right now. But it's all trial and error. And it's signage is very important. I mean, Gabe at NCPA can tell you that. Signage information is what, you can have this on the shelf, but this is different. But a supplement on the shelf, but it's just having a little information sheet right next to it. It's just tremendous because, the patient might seem a little hesitant to ask, but the information is there. So if you can, that would be great. Just put a little, we have vitamin of the week. We're a little different than others, but, just to a little.
That's such a great point, because just like with your, with your doctor detailing, the hard part is starting that conversation. It seems like if you can get that conversation started with the patient, you're halfway there anyways.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So you've been doing a lot of that online as well.
Oh, yeah.
So pretty active on social media, great looking website. I've seen the lot of activity on the TikTok as of late.
Yes, I know. Yes.
And a nice mix too, because they're not all silly entertainment. They're not all, let me get on my soapbox and tell you about this product. But it's a really good mix of kind of what's going on at the pharmacy, the personalities of your staff, the culture of your company, as well as offerings that are on the shelf. So I feel like you've got a good mix, and that's important.
Well, we try, or we try and then we fail. Yeah.
Try forward.
Yeah. The one from yesterday.
Forward.
Yeah. The one from yesterday, because I kind of made a comment. I'm sitting right now because this is my desk, but when we're out there, no one is allowed to sit. So I made that comment, and then they went for it. If you can see it, it's pretty, yeah, they're making fun of me. But yeah, no one, I said, if I'm not allowed to sit, nobody's allowed to sit. So they went off and made this TikTok. Even my poor compounding pharmacist is on a dolly. Okay.
I saw that one. That was a pretty good one. I like the Halloween one too.
Oh, that one
was fun.
Good. That one was, yeah, they chose my outfit. The whole theme was all them. They are, yes, I'm blessed to have a fantastic team that likes to take risks. As you can see, like the Grimace Challenge.
Probably one of my favorite social media trends ever.
It was horrible because we had the Grimace sheet all over the pharmacy because they all spilled it on themselves. So it was all over the place. The things that we do, but we're having a good time.
Yeah, well, you got to do it for the gram.
Yeah,
do it for the gram.
Yeah, sure. I hope everybody likes all of our stuff. You should go and support us and like.
Yeah, go and what's cool is that there is that organic chemistry there, where you can see that it's it works because you guys are having fun and it's natural.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
And I know the other one was the Jenny song, the Jenny number. Do you know what Jenny's number is? Do you know Jenny's number?
I don't think Jenny is in my phone. I do not have Jenny's number.
Okay, good. See, I didn't know who Jenny was, so they made fun of me again, because it's a song 8675309.
Yeah, so
That's Jenny's number.
this is old school.
That's what I was like. Don't look at me.
I thought you should. I thought you would have that one.
Oh, whoa, calm down. Well, calm down. All right, calm down. I said Jenny from the block. Okay,
that's
for me. Okay.
so on the TikToks. Are you going to be showing some white labeled supplements here soon?
Yes, I don't have any here, which is surprising. Yes, that we're going to launch. We're going to, I think, post once a week or twice a week on that informational about the product, and the next post is just about the disease state. So it'll be clinical, and then the one day a week will be a fun one. So that's what we have on schedule.
So you guys are organic and fun, but also calculated and intentional with your social media delivery.
I mean, now we are. It's
Okay.
It's on the way. Now we have to, because I'm like, we have our products now. We have to do something with it. So, yeah, we're trying. Listen, it's on the schedule. Everybody has. Well, my 3 folks have it on their calendar, but things happen. It doesn't happen, but we have it scheduled for tomorrow. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. So do you have somebody on your staff that does your graphics and video splicing, or is it just kind of a group activity?
It's my front end person. That's what I call her. She's social media. She's Samantha. Love her. She kind of takes risks, and anything before she posts, it has to go through me first. So she's like, oh, God, here it is. Can you approve this? And I'm like, no, I need to add, subtract this and do this. And she's like, oh my God. But anytime it has to come to me, they're all like, oh my God, that I'll just kill it. But only one post I've said, great job. And she's like, what? I'm allowed to post this? I'm like, yeah, go ahead. So I think it was yesterday's. Yesterday's was the first one, because they did this all without, they were making fun of me. So it's fine. Fine.
That's fun. So another area, and I think this one may be like the most important for new patients, is the Google review area. And this is something that I've talked about with a lot of different guests. So if I'm looking for anything, an advertisement might help me to know that thing exists. But before I go, I'm going to look at reviews. So if it's a restaurant and I see a billboard, I'm going to go to Yelp and I'm going to see if people agree, So you have like 359 Google reviews, great ratings and engagement with the reviewers too, which is an important aspect to that. That's probably easy to forget about, going in and checking on those and responding. But you guys have a lot of activity there. And I think for new patients, that's probably a big part of an online presence, because that's where they're going to find you. But then that personal connection with Facebook and Instagram and TikTok or whatever social media platform kind of carries that relationship to the next level.
Oh, I mean, you and I, that's the first thing we do is go look at Google reviews, and really any review. You just want to go and see how, okay, oh my God, look at this pharmacy only has like 2 reviews. Oh, we're not going to use them. So,
right.
I mean, our goal is to get to 500 before the year ends. I mean, that's a lofty goal, but we will get there. We will get there. But the Google reviews this year was our big push. And, I'm asking pharmacy owners that we should all follow each other and leave each other reviews. I think that's a great way of starting. So I've asked my friends, hey, like us and we'll like you, kind of thing, and also follow us and we'll follow you. So that's an added way of, supporting each other, because a lot of pharmacy owners don't support each other. I don't know if you know that. They know. But I needed to point out we have we're reaching over 1,000 likes or something like that coming up soon. So we have a big contest coming out, and we're gonna have like give out gift cards and all that stuff to folks that follow us, or and all of us is organic. We don't pay for any of the stuff or anything. This is all just folks that every day when we go onto Instagram and TikTok that we just keep adding on folks, and it's pretty cool just watching us grow. We're not going viral or anything. God, that would be horrible. But and nothing horrible, I mean, we're not big like other pharmacists. There's two big, the two big social media guys that are pharmacy owners. We're not
sure. There's so many different areas of the social media fame spectrum that you can live in. So
yeah. The awkward one here, no. I'll leave it to others.
So how do you encourage your patients to go and leave that review? Because it's so easy to ask, and even like for the patient to genuinely want to. But so many times I've been asked and I'm like, oh yeah, absolutely. Everything was great. I'd love to leave a review. Well, but the step of actually doing it, have you found a way to kind of make that easier for the patients?
Yes. So we have our QR code at the register. So Samantha or whoever's at the register, and if the patient had great service, okay, we have to make sure. Okay, you don't want to make sure you scan this QR code. So we have them scan the QR code. In addition to that, in their text message when the prescription is ready, that's automated. That was a joke. It's automated. It's an automated one. We have our little Google review there.
Nice.
A little link there. And also when we deliver and we ship medications, we have a QR code and a little postcard in there thanking them. And then we have a little QR code there. And also we have a little text message after the fact. So we'll text them as well. But bombard them. You better leave us a review. But we haven't been consistent with it until this year. But prior to, we weren't. We were just hoping that people would. But now we're more consistent with it.
Yeah, which, you may have like those extreme cases where somebody's going to make a review, even if you ask them. But a lot of times just that little bit of a nudge to remove the legwork to get there, to find it and then leave the review. Make sure you have the right location. Any steps you can take out.
Yeah, because our link is the direct one that takes us straight to Google, and then they just leave the review. So we kind of make it foolproof, but we know people are lazy.
Yeah, so
that's okay.
It sounds like the key to a successful pharmacy is just have to have social media videos, right?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Or you just have to have some good products on the OTC. It sounds like there's not really one magic bullet, but you're working a lot of different angles very well to kind of find that success. And what's interesting is it's not the same focus of each angle for each pharmacy, but it sounds like you found a handful that you're really working in concert, finding a way to make those work together.
I'm trying to do one thing and do it right. Instead of doing like 5 things, I'll just do one and just master that is what I'm trying to do. Because I learned you can't put all your eggs in one basket is what I did before. First, second, third year, you're like, oh my God, I want to do this, But now granted, I do spread myself very thin and my staff tells me that. But still, if we're going to do social media, we're going to do it right,
Yeah.
And if we're going to do something, we got to do it 100%. So like right now, our reviews are very important to us. So the staff, we have monthly bonuses. I don't know if I've told you that. So our monthly bonus this month is reviews. So hopefully that's why the 500 is where our goal is. So hopefully we plan on actually beating that before the year ends.
Yeah. So I love that because most pharmacies are looking for kind of the silver bullet, that thing to help them get past the current reimbursement structures. And, it's so many of those intentional efforts and so many areas that you're kind of working to find success. It's almost like, have you heard of the like a healthy user bias. So if they say, pharmacies with a great Facebook page are successful, well, it's not because you have a a great Facebook page, but a great pharmacy is going to have a social media presence, and they're going to really focus on all those different areas where they're purchasing, their staff engagement, their merchandising, their OTC offerings. So it sounds like you're really focused on all of those areas.
I mean, yeah, it's been trial and error. But it's been, listen, we've had a lot of errors, but it's trial and error, and also a supportive staff. Because, I'll come home after a trade show or whatever, and, I'll have, oh my God, we need to do this. And they're like, oh my God, please stop. So implementation is a big thing. And throughout the shows, whenever I'm there, or I have a staff member with me, I know an NCPA, I brought most of my staff with me. We have a ongoing Apple Notes, the notes, we all share a note. And so we just keep adding ideas. Hey, let's try this. So when we go somewhere, each one of us, you should see our Pioneer one. It was crazy. You're taking screenshots of everything. So we share notes, and then we go, and then we meet, and then we go and start implementing everything. So we make sure it's just not talk. It's a lot of action as well.
Nice. We are about out of time, so I'm going to let you get back to action in your pharmacy.
Yes, please. They're already standing at the door looking at me.
Yeah, I was imagining your team walking by and watching you the entire time.
Oh, no. They're there. That's why I'm staring at you and not there, because glass door, they're like standing there and pointing and stuff. So, yeah.
Well, I can't wait to see the TikTok they make of you from the other side of the glass.
Yeah, they already started recording prior when we started. So, great. More stuff they can make fun of me for.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. Look forward to keeping in touch and seeing more from your social media. And hopefully I'll make it down to Tampa one day.
I know, so you can install some stuff, okay?
Come on.
I can call you Dave, okay?
Hey, I'll get the Pioneer polos back out and from my install days, and back in the good old days.
Well, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Beyond the Scripts, presented by the Catalyst Pharmacy Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please support our channel by liking, subscribing, and clicking the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime we post new content. To stay up to date with all of the latest independent pharmacy news and content, follow PioneerRx on your preferred social media platform.